for the first time. So, hi, I'm Adam from the Press Continue podcast, and we're streaming live for the first time. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, so I'm going to hope for the best. I know I've had some issues with some of the sound stuff, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, so I'm going to be playing some Hang On up here. So, we did that on our last podcast episode, and I had a ton of fun with it, so I figured I would just go ahead and play it, because I had a ton of fun with it. So, hopefully I have the chat thing going. I got my phone running too, in case somebody wants to say something. I guess that's how it works. I don't know. I've never done this. I don't even watch Twitch, so I'm going to try to figure it out, see what happens. So let's go ahead and switch over to the game, and heck, I'll show you. I'm playing it all on my laptop. If you guys have been following us for a long time, I'm using my crappy USB Tommy Super Nintendo controller, which we reviewed, I think, in like our second episode ever, which is about 3 years ago. We're now on episode 83, about to put out 84 once we get a chance to record. First thing, okay, I forgot to talk about this. So check out the awful box art that comes with Sega Master System games. It's so plain and terrible. It's kind of why I like it, because it's just like the ugliest, trashiest, stupidest looking thing. I mean, even on the back, it's so exciting. So I do have the original cartridge, but I'm playing it through my laptop, emulated with that trash controller. So let's get to it, right? Alright, playing some Hang On. This was one of the original games for the Sega Master System, and I've never had a Sega Master System. I always thought they looked kind of stupid. Can't even remember what button the gas is. But I remember playing it every once in a while in Sears. They would have it with the gun set up, and you were able to play that Safari Hunt, which I remember always being terrible. But heck, it was a free game I got to play when I was at the mall and I was a kid, so why the heck not? I think this is one of the only driving games that I've ever had to use the brake. Which, I play a ton of driving games, I always did. With like Outrun, they were mainly Sega games, I guess. Played a lot of Outrun growing up. Just any kind of driving game I can get my hands on in the arcades I used to play all the time. I know one of the worst ones was Hard Driving. Did I already run out of time? Man, that was a terrible run. Let me try that again. Now I remember what the gas button is. But, yeah, Hard Driving was hard to drive. It looked really cool. I mean, back then it was all those, like, polygon graphics. So it was neat looking, and it looked, whoa, so realistic, those giant blocks. But it was, like, impossible to get anywhere in that game. I mean, you just spend a ton of quarters. Damn it. A ton of quarters, to even just figure out how to drive in the game. But, I mean, I guess I was maybe 13, and you were, it felt like I was driving a real car, even though I'd never driven a real car. So yeah, I tried playing that on Sega Genesis, and it's literally one of the worst games I've ever played. But this is something. I am strangely addicted to this game, because there's a stupid amount of skill with this. I mean, it looks so simple, but I'm doing so much braking and controlling and then crashing in these crazy turns that it's pretty hard to talk while I play games. I mean, I don't normally talk when I play games. I just concentrate on it and then like trash talk Brittany, of course. Damn it. Which is always a good time to trash talk Brittany because, you know, why not? So this is kind of difficult for me to talk and play, but you know, I'm gonna get through it and we're gonna have a good time. And I'm gonna fail again. No! I got it! I love that at the end. The little coast. Super Hang On didn't do that. It would just like stop you instantly when you ran out of time. But when those games had the coasting when you ran out of time and you passed that finish line, there was nothing more exciting than that at the end. I love it. That's awesome. Ah! I think my eyes just crossed and I completely lost what I was doing. I was just too excited with coasting over the finish line. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I can do any of this better, not gameplay. Am I going to coast over it again? No, I don't think so. Getting the stream to work better, or I think, like I said, the voice is off a little bit. I've never used OBS before, and that's what I'm streaming with. Let me know. I need some tips, because I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. I'm good at playing games. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I'm good at playing games, but I'm not good at this streaming thing. But I'm a big computer nerd, so figure that out. So Brittany was saying, yeah, we should totally stream games, and I'm like, I have no idea how the heck to do that, and she's like, you're a big nerd, you can figure it out. So hopefully this is actually running. I'm also going to post all these on our YouTube channel, which you can always just find us, just search YouTube for Press Continue Podcast. You can pretty much search just about anything for Press Continue Podcast. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, we're on Google Play. I mean, like I said, we've been doing this for about 3 years now, so we're all over the place. Just search for Press Continue Podcast, PressContinuePodcast.com. I mean, we're everywhere. So, but we did just move our podcast to a new service called Pinecast, which is actually run by our friends. Oh, damn it! It's actually run by our friends over at Almost Better Than Silence. They run a podcast as well. So they're good people. They've been helping us out a lot. I'm sure Doug is probably the only person watching this right now. So, hey Doug, what's up? But check them out too, because they're cool people. So I don't actually have a Sega Master System. I got the Sega Power Base converter for the Sega Genesis, which is basically a slot converter. Converts your Sega Genesis into a Sega Master System, so you can play almost every game from the Sega Master System library. And you can crash just like that whenever you feel like it. Get out of here. But of course, like I said, I'm playing this right now just so we can get a good picture out of it. All off my laptop with this crappy ass controller. that makes your thumbs want to break off. But it doesn't matter because this game is so much fun. I mean, probably not the best game to pick to do our first show with, but I don't care because it's a fun time. And I know how to crash real good when it goes dark. It's always the hardest part. Hardest part of the game is this dark level. So I'm wondering on this level, somebody has to tell me, am I on one really long bridge over the ocean, or is it just so dark that I can't see the grass on the side of the road? Because the second you get off the road on this one, you crash. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I like to think it's a giant bridge going to the next city. Or whatever I end up at. Because, you know, that city in the distance, you never get to it. Let's see, if I make it far enough, you get to see what's next. And there it is. So you go from a long ocean bridge to the desert, huh? That makes a lot of sense. Can you see the concentration in my face? Ah! You can probably hear how much I'm tapping these buttons to keep this thing under control. It's crazy. Usually in driving games, like I said, you just hit the gas and go. Like Cruis'n USA, I used to play that all the time in the arcades too. And yeah, you just slam on the gas and go. You don't use brakes. Outrun, you don't use the brakes. If anything, you downshift, but you never get your foot off the gas. This one I'm like all over the place. Just trying to stay on the road. 5 seconds. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Make it! Yes! Oh, I finished! Ha ha! Next course. Uh-oh. Let's make it even harder for me, right? I have no idea what my high score is on this game. Because games that go for score, I never pay attention. I just play it and have fun. And downshift for no reason because the controller's a pain in the ass. So, yeah, find us on Facebook too. Again, look up Press Continue Podcast. You got to tell us what you want us to play, what you want us to do on here or on our podcast, because we're always looking for feedback from everybody. You guys are important for us. We do the show for fun for us, but you know we like to do it for you guys as well. So you got to tell us what you want, and I mean you can ask some of our long fans that we listen to you guys and we do what you tell us to do. If you don't like a segment, we don't do it anymore. If you do like something, of course we run it into the ground until you hate it. I don't know. Think I'll make it to the next check mark? I don't know, because I'm not doing so hot. Get out of my way! Get out of here. See, I got this straight away. Anybody talking? Oh! Go to check your phone to see if anybody's on the chat, and you see what happens. You downshift and fall off the road. Don't text and drive, kids. Don't text and drive. Especially on a motorcycle. You ever seen anybody on a motorcycle on their cell phone? I don't think I ever have. Woo. Woo. Dang, I got a decent run going here if I could stay on the road. Here we go. Checkpoint. And there's the long water bridge. So what city is that out there? I think that's New York. I think that's Chicago. What we got? You think that's the city from Streets of Rage? Because you know Sega always did stuff where they will recycle stuff from one of their games into another game and reference and all. I wonder if that is the Streets of Rage city, because it looks pretty close. Whoa! I don't know, I guess I'm a bigger Sega fanboy than I ever thought I was. I always grew up thinking I liked Super Nintendo more, but I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but like some of the biggest parts of my collection is actually from Sega. I've got a big Dreamcast selection back there of all those nice burn discs, because it's such an easy system to copy for. I got a bunch of Genesis games in the original boxes, so that's pretty proud of that selection. I got every NHL 90 or every NHL game for Sega Genesis. I used to play those all the time. Oh, did it again. Let me see if anybody's talking. Anybody here? Still nobody's there. You guys can talk to me if you want to. I will check the chat. Okay, if I get through this a third time, I'm just going to deem myself too good at this game. And then, of course, I crash. So you talk trash, see what happens? Can't do it. They'll sneak up on you. Ah! The other day I did the like adult go-karts that go like 40 miles an hour, and I've never ridden like a motorcycle like this before or nothing, and I never did those go-karts before. Jesus, never did those go-karts before either. But there we go. That's a good score. I'm happy with that. But I did those go-karts, and the whole time, like, I was gripping that steering wheel as hard as I could, and I didn't realize it, and that race was 8 minutes long. And afterwards, I couldn't move my hands, so I have like a new respect for everybody that does racing of any sort, just from doing that little bit. So, yeah, how do you guys think that went? Did I do good? Is it working? I don't know. So, if we can figure this out, I'll do it more often. Until then, like I said, tell your friends about us. Subscribe on here. There's my Dreamcast games right there. I think Genesis games are here. But anyway, yes, subscribe to us so that you know next time that we do some live streaming. And of course, you can get a ton more of this on the podcast, on iTunes or wherever you decide to subscribe to us. And you know, the website right here, presscontinuepodcast.com. Check us out, and heck, we'll see you next time. Where the gaming never ends, as long as you press continue.